Hello students, welcome to the business law session for B.B.A 5th semester. So in module 2, we are coming to the last topic, breach of contract and the remedies for the breach. This is the last topic in the module 2. We are going to complete within 2 or 3 days this topic. So today I will be discussing what you mean by breach and types of breach, and in one more or in 2 periods I will be discussing here what are the remedies available for the breach of contract. So this is what here we are going to discuss in 2 to 3 classes. So taking here the breach of the contract. So the breach here in simple words means breaking of the terms and conditions here of the contract by one party. So one party here breaks the rules and regulations of the contract. So that we call it as the person has committed the breach. The person has violated the terms and conditions. So the person who commits the breach is called as the defaulter. He is called as the defaulter. The person who breaks the rules. He may be promisor or promisee. So the person who breaks the rules is called as the defaulter, and the other party is called as the aggrieved party. So aggrieved party. So aggrieved party will always get the right to claim the remedies for the breach. So remedies can be claimed only when the breach takes place. So the breach must take place and the aggrieved party will get the right to claim the remedies against the defaulter. Defaulter means the person who has committed the breach, who has broken the terms and conditions of the contract. So that is what we call it as the breach. For example, A promised to B to supply the raw materials to here B here within 15 days. So A has a promise to B to supply the raw materials within 15 days. But here A is unable to supply the raw materials as he had promised within the 15 days. So what here on the expiry of the 15 days, what we call it as, he has committed the breach. He has broken the terms and condition. He has not kept up his promise. He has broken the promise. He has violated the rules of the contract, the terms of the contract. So you can use any of these terminologies. So A has committed the breach. So A is here the defaulter, and the other party B is the aggrieved party, and he gets a right to claim the remedies. He has the right to claim the remedies. It may be vice versa also. A has a promise to supply the raw materials to B, and B has agreed to pay that price. A supplies the raw materials. B takes the delivery but fails to pay the amount. So here the promisee has here mainly broken the terms and condition. So B becomes the defaulter and A gets the right to claim the remedies. So it may be any party. The terms and conditions may be violated by any party. So any party violating the terms and conditions of the contract is called as the breach of the contract, and the person violating it is called as the defaulter, and the other party is called as the aggrieved party. Aggrieved party gets the right to claim the remedies against the defaulter in the breach. So breach must take place, then only the remedies can be claimed. So this is what is the general meaning, and you can have it for 2 marks. This may be asked for 2 marks question. So what do you mean by breach of contract? So this is a 2 marks question from your examination point of view. Otherwise, here another 2 marks questions where you can expect is types of breach. So types of breach are anticipatory breach and actual breach. anticipatory breach and the actual breach. So this can be also for 2 marks. They may ask you either anticipatory breach or actual breach. So that may be another 2 marks question you can expect. So remedies is for 10 marks, so which I am going to discuss in another 2 classes. Now these are here what initially you have to understand: anticipatory breach and actual breach. So what is anticipatory breach? So this will be more clear when we take through an example. But in simple words to say, the anticipatory breach is here, anticipatory breach is here the party showing the inability to perform before the date of performance. Before the date of performance, the party is showing his inability here to perform it on that day. So before that date comes, he has shown his inability here that he is not able to perform it. So it is called as anticipatory, before the performance, anticipatory breach. For example, A has made a contract with B on 1/1/20. On 1/1/20, A has made a contract with B. A has stated he will supply the raw materials to B here on 15/1/20. That is the date he has mainly accepted. He has agreed to supply the raw materials. So but A comes to know on 12/1/20 that he is unable to give that raw materials to B on 15th, and he shows his inability. He expresses his inability to perform it on 15th. So before the date of performance it is. So what is that? Mainly here it is called as anticipatory breach. Before the performance, anticipatory. He has anticipated in here which that he is unable to perform it. So that is called as anticipatory breach. Now when anticipatory breach takes place, then he is a defaulter. He has shown his inability, and will the other party, that is B, gets the right to claim the remedies immediately if it is anticipatory breach. If it is anticipatory breach, can he here claim the remedy here immediately? So here in such circumstances, usually here the other party will wait up to the date of performance, and within that period, if the here person shows his ability to perform, here he can perform it and the other party has to accept it. For example, here A says that on 14/1/20 that tomorrow he is going to supply the raw materials. He has shown his inability on 12th, but on 14th he says that he is able to perform it. So here maybe B has to accept it. So anticipate. If a B has kept the contract open, if the B has kept the contract, so A has shown his inability on the 12th, that is unable to perform it. So if B has kept the contract open till 15th, here till the 15th, here the A can here supply at any time the raw materials and B has to accept it. If on the 12th itself, when A has expressed his inability to do it, here B, if he has rescinded the contract or he has cancelled the contract, it will come to an end. It is said here they have discharged from their respective obligation and B can go for the remedies. So that is there. But if the contract is kept open by the aggrieved party, defaulter has still the hope of performing that contract here before the expiry of the said date for performance. So this is what you should know, called as the anticipatory breach. The anticipatory breach. Actual breach is on the day of performance the breach takes place. We call it as here the actual breach. So for example, A, he has promised to supply it on 15/1/20 the raw materials, but on that day he is unable to supply the raw materials. So he has committed the breach here on the day of performance. We call it as actual breach, and B gets who becomes the aggrieved party, he gets the right to claim the remedies. So he need not wait more. So the contractual obligation here is broken, and B, the aggrieved party, he gets the right to claim the compensation, damages, whatever it is. So he has got the right the remedies. So the contractual obligation is put to an end immediately in actual breach. So B is said to have discharged from his obligation, and here A, the defaulter, here mainly he has failed in his promise, hence the aggrieved party B gets the right to claim the remedies. B, as far as his obligation is concerned, he is discharged from his obligation, because if A had performed, the next will be the step of B, that he has to pay the price. But now he is here mainly discharged from his obligation, and with that he also gets a right here to go for remedies against the defaulter. So that we call it as actual breach. So this can be also for 2 marks. The 2 marks question can be here asked. So anticipatory breach and actual breach, it may be for 2 marks question from your examination. So this is what you mean by breach. Sometimes a question may come in your examination for 10 marks here stating what you mean by breach and state the remedies for the breach. So 2 marks is for what you give the meaning of the breach, and 8 marks will be for your the remedies which you explain. Or directly they may ask you here the 10 marks question, here mention the remedies for the breach of contract. 10 marks immediately it will be there, but just in the beginning you have to mention what you mean by the term breach there. What you mean by the term breach. So when the breach takes place, what the law has permitted for the aggrieved party for the remedies. So totally 5 important remedies are there. We call them as rescission, damages, then the different types of damages we are going to study, specific performance, quantum merit and injunction. The 5 remedies that can be claimed by the aggrieved party against the defaulter. So one by one we will be discussing. It's a 10 marks question from your examination point of view. Rescission and damages can be explained in one class, and specific performance, quantum merit and injunction, this I will be taking in one more class. So 2 more classes. I think by this week we will complete with the module 2. And as I told you, be ready with your first 2 modules here, which includes the general principles of the contract. So that here immediately when the college reopens, we are mainly thinking of holding the first internals, or it may be once again we will be sending you the questions. You have to send us the answers written there. That is here what will be done if it is prolonged. Here the reopening is prolonged. If it is 17th, by end of November we can have this here first internals. So first 2 modules you be prepared for the examination. I am telling you well in advance. Here in this week I am going to complete the module 2 there. So this aspect here, breach of contract. What are the different types of breach? I will continue it in my next class. Thank you.